Hello, 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 and welcome to episode 9 of 40 Something Podcast. I'm Trevor Shafer, and joining me, Jerry Mullen.
Oh, good evening.
What a surprise seeing you
It could
here.
be night, it could be day. You people don't know.
That's true, you got your curtains pulled, and
Yeah.
I don't have any windows near me, so you'll never know.
Yeah. Yes.
You think we're recording on Friday, but we might be recording on Saturday, on Sunday. We don't give you a date for a reason.
Yeah. That's because if we get bored and don't want to release this at a certain time, you'll never know.
Yes,
Because it
And-
usually comes out on Monday anyway.
it does.
And
Although-
sponsor us, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although last episode I released it on Sunday just because I got it all done, and I'm like, okay, I got to schedule it for Monday, and I'm like, why? I'm just going to release it now.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's going to complain if they get it a day early.
I know I didn't. I like.
Well, you get an early copy either way. You get it as soon as I upload it to the server.
Yeah, I like listening. You know what? Honestly, I do. If you upload it the same night,
Yeah.
when we're done here, I lay down in bed and listen to it like that night.
Doesn't that get old? We just got done talking.
No, I don't know. I like to hear if I like. I know I sound stupid a lot, and I like a professional at it, but I'm just.
You're only
I'm
professional
figuring-
at it when you're drunk.
Yeah, and I don't do that anymore.
We don't let you drink during podcasting, especially if it's like the week before St. Patrick's Day when you're
Yeah.
priming the system. You know.
Yeah, you have to get. My liver needs a reminder. I'm here. Oh, by the way.
Speaking of, by the way, we actually made a huge error in the last episode. One of the stories we really wanted to talk about, we didn't, which was weird because that was actually our shortest episode. So I figured we would have gotten to it eventually, but we didn't.
But near the end, we just mindfully meandered on for 5 minutes about nothing really, which could be the name of this show too.
Yeah.
Besides Off Topic with Jerry and Trev, which will be the sister show to this Sunday. What the article we missed last week was about Bohemian Rhapsody,
Yes.
the movie about Queen. Now I can't tell if this movie is actually about the band or him or both. It seems like it's about him a lot, but it seems like it's about the band too.
It's about both. I haven't tried to read too much, but it focuses a lot on obviously the song Bohemian Rhapsody, which turned out to be Queen's #1 hit that they did not want to
The hell you
release.
say?
What do you mean the hell I say?
I'm just kidding. Go ahead, keep moving.
Hey, it reached #1 in the charts back when it was released in the 70s, and again in the 90s thanks to Wayne's World. One of the very few songs ever do that. Reached
Party
reached #1, in 2 different decades.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. So I know they do a lot about Bohemian Rhapsody. They do a lot about the band, how they form and how they go through together. And I do know it culminates in Queen's Live Aid performance.
Yeah, in '85, I think.
So, which they said, yeah, it wasn't his last, but it was one of their last appearances. But they say that it's like a master class in learning how to work a crowd. That they said that those 20 minutes that they performed at Live Aid were some of the best 20 minutes of a live performance ever captured on film. So, and I have to agree. Freddie Mercury, to me, years ago they voted. I don't know who voted, but they voted Axl Rose the best frontman ever. And I'm like, fuck you, it's Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury, he could work a crowd. Perfect. He was really great at it. But it's not like, and he didn't have to try at it. I always just thought like Freddie walked out there, and not like I ever saw him.
I wish
concert.
we could have.
God, I wish I could have in my life. But you watch the videos of it and you watch anything about it, and he just walks out on that stage and he's like, I already got you guys.
Yeah.
Let's go.
When he walks out, it just pours off of him and just encompasses the crowd, his energy that they're one almost. Whenever when he ever does okay, you've been at concerts where the band starts clapping their hands and you get half the people but I mean he just starts clapping and everyone just starts.
Everybody, the security guards, people in the bathroom on the shitter are going like this,
Liam, who's drunk and on the ground's going, okay.
Freddie.
Can't disappoint Freddie.
Plus, Freddie Mercury has the best mustache of all time. It's right up.
It's right up there. Yeah.
Right up there. Magnum PI had
Tom Selleck has the stash, and
he's got a fantastic stash.
Yeah.
So, But the movie coming out about the band, him, both looks fantastic. Now I've only watched the trailer a few times, like we had talked about just a few minutes ago, but I don't want to know too much about it.
No,
because
I don't either.
Part of the story, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But there's a great story that reminds me of this great story about Freddie Mercury when he was getting really sick and it was near the end of his career, probably his life. Now that I think about it, and they were concerned about him singing on an album, as he was trying to do an album by himself there near the end. Away from the band, he was just trying to do one. I think that's what it was.
Well, I know he spent as much time in the studio as he could because he knew his days were limited and he wanted to record as much as possible, even if they never got a chance to to make a polished record, because they ended up coming out with a record post-mortem in the late 90s, early 2000s called Beautiful Day, I believe it was.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But there's a song that they were, I can't remember the name of the song, and it's inconsequential because Freddie Mercury, hold on, I'm using Uncle Google to figure one take.
I know the last music video he recorded, which is eerie, is The Show Must Go On. That was the last music video he filmed.
Yeah, that's kind of eerie.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just want to look this up. Oh, yeah, fact about Freddie Mercury. The Show Must Go On, the final song of the final album made by Mercury a few months before he died. The people who were recording it were concerned that his disease, AIDS, was he could barely walk. He was in really bad shape there near the end. And he says, he takes a big glass of vodka, washes it down. He goes, and he says, and it's in this article, I'll fucking do it right now, darling. And does it in one take.
That's Freddie Mercury.
In one take. That's Freddie Mercury.
That's how I want to go out. If I'm on my deathbed and someone says, if I say, I want to go to our farm one more time. No, you can't. I just want to take a big bottle of vodka, down it in the hospital, and go, fuck it, we're going now, damn it.
There's only a couple of people that could drink vodka like that, like Freddie Mercury, Ozzy, James Bond. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's only a few people that are in the being famous, I guess you could say. Frank Sinatra probably too. It's probably up there with Alcoholics Anonymous.
Oh, come on! One of the biggest alcoholics of all time was Dean Martin. Show me a picture without a drink in his hand.
Find a video of him sober.
Yeah.
Pictures at his funeral. Oh, that's terrible.
You can't even. They probably put a bottle in his casket. Probably several.
Yeah, that's how I'm going. So, let's see. Remember last week we talked about the Xbox controller for the handicap?
Oh, yeah.
That was really good. Well, now Apple and Microsoft, Google announced a new USB human interface device, which HID, which there's a new acronym for everything. They all came together to create a standard Braille keyboard.
That's cool.
Everybody can use. I don't know why. I don't know why I found this article, but I found it very interesting. Plus, it just played off that other article we had last week. So it was like a segue from a week ago, or 2 weeks ago. But I find that really neat, and it's a big move forward for people who can't see.
Yeah.
To use a computer and decently efficiently. Every time I think of a Braille keyboard, I think of Sneakers.
Oh yeah. Still love that movie.
Every time.
You just see his fingers, or you hear the.
Yeah.
As all the little pins come up.
Things popping up under your fingers. God, that movie's so good.
Oh come on, the best is. I know, off topic. But in the beginning of that movie, we're talking about the character Whistler, who's blind. In the beginning of the movie, they're in their van and they're trying to break into a bank because that's their job. And you see him reading in a book. And once the main character Bishop gets in there and they hear the tones, he closes the book and he's actually reading a Braille copy of Playboy.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you, Hugh Hefner. God rest your soul.
But that's cool. That's that they're actually making a Braille keyboard for them.
Yeah, I find that's great. That's another step forward in everybody being connected.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Let's see what else do we got?
Oh, we got a couple different things.
Yeah. Why are they making a Sonic the Hedgehog movie?
I don't know, and
why is Cyclops playing a major role in it. James Marsden.
Normally, I would say if this was 3 years ago that he was hard up for the money, but considering how big of a phenomenon Westworld is, and he plays one of the main characters, Teddy, I don't know why. Does he not realize in the history of video game movies, there's been maybe two good ones?
I can think of like good.
Yeah,
Like
good is relative.
The original Mortal Kombat, I think, is a good video game movie.
Ye-
Only because that's
the
in my
cheesy
opinion,
factor, yeah. The cheese factor's in the right place, kind of.
If you want to count, well, let me say it. There's probably three, and the second one is the first Tomb Raider.
Ironically, I just got the new Tomb Raider, but I haven't sat down and watched it yet.
I heard it wasn't all that great.
So.
And the third, probably best video game movie is Wreck-It Ralph. Yeah.
I don't consider that a video game. It has video game characters, but it's not based off a real video game. If you're talking,
it's still a good video game movie. I don't give a shit. Unless you want to count the King of Kong.
Because if you're using Wreck-It Ralph and classifying that as a video game movie, then I would have to step in and include Tron and The Last Starfighter. And really, now you could include Ready Player One.
And Cloak and Dagger.
I mean, you got to be careful how you categorize it.
All right, we'll back off Wreck-It Ralph. So it's Tomb Raider.
I would agree with Tomb Raider.
First, Tomb Raider is probably the best video game film, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And we know what the worst one is.
I don't know. There's Super Mario and Double Dragon there. I mean, they're both drowning at the same level. They're both drowning.
Alyssa Milano's like, well, I could probably collect a check on this. Blood Rain, that's pretty bad too, come to think of it.
Yeah, it was. Silent Hill wasn't actually that bad. Okay, the first Resident Evil. That was a good movie.
Yeah. The 97 sequels afterwards.
Not so much.
Out, and I've seen them all. I have, only because, like, 1,000 years ago when the original Resident Evil came out, I took a buddy of mine, Jeff, to see it. Because we were like fans of the game, we were like this. The game was only a few years old at that point. There wasn't the sequel mania that there is now of it. Mm-hmm. So, and after that, I only had watched part of the second Resident Evil film. And then I was like, well, these got stupid, so I'll walk away from it. So, the final chapter, whatever the hell it was called, because it was Resident Evil cliche name last movie.
Well, they always end like Apocalypse and the final chapter, the real final chapter. We promise this is it. Yeah.
Cliche final movie. So he said to me, he texted me and he goes, "Hey, I'm going to take you to see the last Resident Evil movie because you told me to see the first. You took me to see the first one." I'm like, "Oh, okay." He goes, "How many do I have to watch in between?" He goes, 5. I'm like, really? Thank God I had the Cody. I burned through them like on a Saturday.
So I would say top 3 in no particular order. First Mortal Kombat, first Angelina Jolie Tomb Raider, and first Resident Evil.
Yeah, I'd have to say, I don't know. Well, we're not going to count the Spirits Within.
No, not based off an actual video game.
But I can say live action films. Let's leave it.
I was just going to mention Street Fighter 2.
The animated film?
Yeah, it's excellent.
You know what? In Final Fantasy VII Event Children, that movie's really good.
That's too long, though. Oh, my God.
Who cares? It's so beautiful looking.
It is.
Beautiful, But
I watched the director's cut. That's almost like 3 freaking hours long. I still have to watch Kingsglaive. I have that. I haven't watched that yet.
You ever see that Kingsman movie?
Yes, those are good.
Are they good?
Oh my God, are they good? The best is, well, the first one is excellent. The second one, the best part is there's just an absolutely profanity-laden Elton John in it. Because Elton John is actually in there. And I mean, it just, oh my God. Oh yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, the shit they pull off in those movies is fantastic. So yes, it's definitely worth the watch. So
okay, so we don't know what James Marsden is up to. This sounds like he's collecting a paycheck he might have a car to pay off or something at this point.
Is it going to be all live action? Because I was hoping he was just going to do a voice, maybe, but
A hybrid live action animated Sonic film. There you go. I know, but it's weird if you watch there's weird. Sonic the Hedgehog is really weird. It got away from a blue streak running and collecting rings.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was the 3D versions and Shadow the Hedgehog, which I thought was pretty cool. Actually, because Shadow shot people. But Sonic has a human girlfriend.
Yeah.
Crash Bandicoot has one too, I think. But
no, she's not human.
Oh, she's
kind of human, but
yeah, she's what's that? Anthropomorphic? Is that the term
we're talking a bandicoot, which really isn't a real animal to begin with. So
okay, so there we go.
Yeah.
So we've written that for people.
And I'll be honest, the one thing I've never understood about Sonic is I was a Nintendo guy. I wasn't a Sega Genesis guy or Master System even. But I understood Mario. Okay? Get from point A to point B, you jump, you get power-ups, it's a platformer. Sonic I never understood. So you're just a ball, you're rolling around collecting all these rings, but it doesn't matter if you end the board with 0 rings or 1,000 rings, you still complete the board.
Yes and no. You can get yes and no. You can get through Sonic the Hedgehog really fast if you ever watch speedruns of it. People do it, and it's 7 minutes or whatever. Which off topic with Jerry and Trev again, but speedruns are our favorite thing ever. But there are people. There is a goal to it. You have to collect 50 or 100 rings per level, and to collect the Chaos Emeralds to get going on it. I didn't know about that shit till I met Dave. So I knew nothing Sega until I met Dave. So and then you get into it. But yeah, I don't know. I never understood the appeal of Sonic ever.
I never understood it either.
I had the second. I have one of them on. Are you dying? Anyway, if you are, do it over there. It's less paperwork.
Lay down some newspapers, will you, please?
Yeah. That's so fun. I have Sonic. I think I have Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I had it on the Wii or something like that. It was on sale or something. I picked it up. I was I never owned it, so I'll get it. But
like me, me, I'm a big Dreamcast collector, and I never bought.
Really?
Either when it came out or even now when I'm collecting Sonic Adventures, because really, I know it's iconic. It's their mascot. I could care less about Sonic. If I buy it, I may play it for 10 minutes and go, okay, I could say I played it.
There's a Sonic the Hedgehog ROM hack. I don't know what people have so many different names for them. ROM hacks or
homebrews
or whatever. There's a Sonic the Hedgehog we'll call it a homebrew just for the shits and giggles. Instead of collecting gold rings, he collects onion rings, and if you get too many rings, he gets fat.
Nice.
Fat, right? If you collect too many, he dies for obvious reasons. If you collect enough and start getting fat, he has to run to lose weight to keep going.
That's probably the most realistic game ever made.
It is. And I saw that on LGR. That was the best thing. God bless him. His show is so great.
It is.
So let's see. What else do we got?
Well, since we're on the subject of gaming, if you're a big Battle Royale fan, Fortnite, the new phenomenon for all the young gamers out there.
Fortnite ever?
I tried. My machine is just not fast enough to run it.
I think they have it on mobile.
They do have it on mobile. I tried it on my computer in both Mac and Windows, and the graphics card just isn't powerful enough. It's really choppy. But if you own a Switch, it's coming to the Switch, which I think is a fantastic thing to do because...
Is it already on the other systems? Or
it just came out for PlayStation, I believe, this week because Gemma was streaming it. But I think it's fantastic on the Switch because the Switch is a portable system.
Yeah.
So you could play Fortnite anywhere, which I think is great.
But while we're on the subject of the Switch real quick.
Yeah.
I let my daughter take it to her friend's house last weekend for a sleepover because her friend has one and they wanted to.
You're brave.
I'm a good dad. I am brave though too. I have the glass screen protector, but that's about the only safe thing I have for it. But it was so anyway. Long story short, because that doesn't happen on the show there. we're over at my aunt's house afterwards because she went there after she went to the sleepover, and she was like, "Do you want to play Mario Kart?" And I'm like, "Yeah." We put the kickstand up, play with the Joy Cons. I'm like, "This is great."
It is.
It is. I think about what I badmouth the thing up front, but man, it's neat.
We both did. It's like, what a stupid name. What a stupid concept. And yeah, but I'm talking about the Switch. Like, it's a screen that gets docked, and ooh, you could take it with you, and then once you actually do it once or twice, you're like, damn.
And before we go on another topic, I know I razzed you a couple episodes ago about the air conditioners.
Yeah.
I broke down and put them in for the kids.
Dude, it's been hot as balls lately.
I tell you, it done it for. I don't know if I've just gotten so used to it, but it doesn't bother me.
Oh my god! This morning when I took the kids to school, it was like 72, but it was 96% humidity.
Oh, God,
it was like. It was 72. The dew point was 71. I mean, it was just nasty.
Yeah, it's been brutal.
Yeah.
So, okay, so, dickhead, get rid of that toy.
Sorry.
Not you.
So Fortnite coming to the Switch.
Coming to the Switch.
Yep. So we're talking.
Fortnite is paying $300 million in April alone.
Yes.
That's pretty good for a game that is. Is Fortnite free?
No. Well, yes and no. I honestly don't know. I downloaded it. Did I download a trial or do you pay for... I don't know.
Where'd my phone go? Shit. I don't know where it is.
Wow. I honestly don't know. I think it might be free to play, Fortnite. Yes, it is. Because Jack downloaded as well, and he couldn't run it on his older Mac either.
Yeah. So
PUBG you have to pay for, I believe. Although I'm probably wrong about that. I'll be honest, I don't like the Battle Royale games. I can't stand them.
I think the concept of them is a little silly.
I don't...
Call of Duty Black Ops 4, I'm looking at you.
I mean, I just don't like that concept. Same thing, I don't like open arena games like League of Legends or Dota 2. I don't get into those. It actually doesn't stand for anything. I thought it did first. Yeah. I kept calling it DOTA2, and Jack's like, Daddy, it's pronounced Dota. Like, what does it stand for? I don't know. So I looked it up, and it really doesn't stand for anything.
Don't you love that shit?
Yeah. Well,
that's because we're old now. I expected that to be a Dead or Alive franchise when I first started it because it was DOA.
Dude, we're talking on a thing called Skype. What the fuck is a Skype?
Yeah. Good point. Never happened at Dead or Alive. Anyway.
I think they really jumped the shark when they had the beach volleyball game.
Well, I think now they just sell. See, Dead or Alive is a franchise that I could see selling costumes. That makes sense.
Yes. Dead or Alive for the PlayStation was the only game I've ever seen that actually had a settings for the boob jiggle in the settings menu.
That was the first game I saw. You know?
What other game have you seen?
Wow.
That's the only game I know with the boob jiggle meter.
Yeah.
Wow.
But you gotta think that's okay. Well, anyway.
I think that's the title of the episode now.
Yeah. Write it down.
Boob jiggle meter.
Jiggle meter. But they were like those guys. I forget what company that is. That
was Namco.
Is it Namco?
I'm almost positive it's Namco.
That's what they're known for in the industry.
Yes.
And however you see that is fine. That's really funny though. It's like they're going down in history as we've pioneered boob jiggle physics for video games.
Tecmo. Close enough. Namco, Tecmo, they're both pretty much owned by the same company.
Yeah. So anyway, well, speaking of PUBG, they are suing the Epic Games over the Fortnite Battle Royale mode.
This is what I can't stand, and I hope this gets...
Call of Duty, guys? Is that what's next? Please do it.
Exactly.
Please do it.
I mean, this is where it's going to get to, the fact that I hope this gets thrown out of court because you cannot sue and copyright an entire gameplay. I mean, can you imagine if id Software copyrighted the first-person shooter? If Nintendo copyrighted the side-scrolling platformer?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't do that.
If id did that, the term Doom clone would have never existed.
No.
At all.
And you never would have got your Unreal Tournaments, your Serious Sams, your Duke Nukem 3Ds. You never would have had any of those.
I wouldn't have been able to get through life without Duke Nukem 3D.
Now, here's the most interesting thing I think about the whole them suing, because they're claiming copyright infringement. And yes, Fortnite was heavily based on PUBG, because PUBG was one of the most, or still is, one of the most successful battle royale first-person shooters. The other battle royale games are talking about your Dotas and your League of Legends, where it's a top-down third-person view. So they went ahead and they sued him because PUBG lost almost half their playership to Fortnite. And Fortnite wasn't supposed to be a battle royale game. They actually put battle royale in there after they saw how popular PUBG is. But here's where the twist gets interesting. PUBG is using the Unreal Engine for its game, which is distributed and licensed by Epic Games. They make the Unreal Engine.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I can't believe how versatile the Unreal Engine is.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Everything uses it. Everything uses it, you know?
But in fact, on LGRs, when he did the review of Unreal Gold, I actually bought Unreal Gold on a sale a couple months ago. And I love that he says, most people are familiar with...
It was free for a while.
It was for a couple of days for the 20th anniversary.
Yeah, I'm sorry I missed that.
And he said that, a lot of people don't realize that the Unreal Engine came from this game, that they built the first Unreal Engine for the game Unreal, and then Unreal Tournament, and then they made Unreal Tournament 2 with a different engine. And it's just funny that a lot of people don't realize the roots of these games. That, yes, it's called the Unreal Engine for a reason, because it was made for a game called Unreal.
Yeah. I mean, and now everybody's got their engine now. You know what I mean? Every time a game comes out, it's on, 6? I think that's what they're on. 5 or 6, I think
something.
they're on now.
I forget the name of their engine is, because it used to be based off the Quake engine, and then when they had that 10-year
they call
period,
it id Tech.
Yeah, it's id Tech now, but I don't know what they did in between there, because they used the Quake 2 engine for Quake 2, obviously, and Quake 3. And then it's like they didn't create an engine till they got eaten up by Bethesda, and now it's id Tech.
I think id Tech. Probably after Quake 3 was Doom 3. Was that right? Was that later there?
That was later.
That was probably the id Tech.
Yeah, Quake 4, which graphically doesn't look any different than Quake 2, honestly. A little bit different shaders. Doom 3 is where you had your big difference, and if I remember correctly, I could be wrong, that was the last engine John Carmack made himself before leaving it to go to Oculus.
Yeah, because he walked out during the development of the new Doom.
Yeah. Well, he walked out before that. He didn't want to have anything to do with it. He was more interested in virtual reality. So if you want to wrap your head around it, John Carmack, the man who founded id, who wrote the engines for Doom and Wolfenstein, is now a Facebook employee because Facebook owns Oculus.
Yeah. He made a game about killing Nazis. You know what I mean? And now, well,
I like your Brad Pitt impersonation there.
Yeah, you like that?
I like that. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how this lawsuit comes out, because I really hope they don't side with PUBG, because it's just going to set a dangerous precedent for anybody to come out. Well, like I said, id Software can come out and say, hey, we're copywriting the first-person shooter genre. Now everyone owes us money, or else you can't play first-person shooters. Call of Duty could come out and say, okay, the tactical shooter genre is now ours. And, hell, Madden could come out. You're not making any other football games. So that's kind of true, considering they have the monopoly on it.
Yeah, but you know which one could be locked in is NBA Jam.
That was a fun game. I
always thought they were fun.
Yeah, they were.
They were fun.
Even
when they tried to redo it a few years ago, it was still pretty good.
And the football version, which was Blitz. Blitz was fun. Blitz was just, how hard can you hit the other guy and do some crazy shit flips with him?
Yeah. Yes. That's all football games should be like that. Remember in the original, Madden games, people got injured.
Yeah.
I don't know if that happens in a Madden game anymore. So, Yeah, that's when Madden games are good. 16-bit Madden games are good.
Well,
So I don't play.
I think in the new Madden games, the only thing that gets injured is the person who buys it because they're saddled with all the DLC that they have to purchase.
Yeah. Plus, the game's pretty much worthless when you get it home for trade-in value.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you're basically paying $60 for the same game you bought last year, just with an updated roster.
And maybe a shinier coat of paint.
That's even questionable some years.
Yeah. Some years.
Some years.
Okay, so we're still on gaming because that's pretty much 3/4 of the topics we have tonight. How about the what was that Fallout 4 Fallout 76?
Yes.
Like it's called, got announced.
Yes.
And people tuned in to the Twitch. I guess their Twitch channel.
Twitch channel. Yeah, they had the infamous "Please Stand By," and then they had a Pip-Boy bobblehead.
Have you ever played any Fallouts?
I actually own Fallout 3, and I can't get into it. It's a completely different system of fighting than what I'm used to playing. And while I know we know a bunch of people who like swear by Fallout, I just cannot get into the mechanics of the battle system.
No.
So.
Yeah, I know very little about it. I just never got into it. It's not as franchise I saw any interest in.
I love the storyline. I absolutely love the storyline. Like if they made a Fallout movie, I'd be there to watch it.
It kind of reminds, I don't know much about the story either, but it always felt like Portal to me for some reason, like that dystopian kind of future.
It is a dystopian. There's a nuclear fallout. And they knew
obviously.
They knew the nuclear fallout took place in the 50s. It was like a 50s era. It's not the actual 50s pretty much, but in the 50s era. And they had known this was coming, so they created fallout shelters that were called vaults. And when the war started, everyone was assigned a vault. They went to the vault and they sealed the vaults. And over the next couple decades, and then being like a century, they weren't sure what was outside, so they built the life in the vault, and it got to a point that no one wanted to go outside. Everyone was content with generations upon generations being in the vault. And then when you play, you're someone who escapes from the vault. And when you go out, you find out there were survivors living out there and scavenging in this post-apocalyptic world. And the people of the vaults are like rumors, like mythical creatures. No one believes there's actually anybody left in the vaults, and when there's thousands upon people in all these different vaults. So the new Fallout 76 takes place in Vault 76.
Oh, okay. I
So,
was figuring 1976.
no, it actually takes place in 70. I think Fallout 3 was Vault 101, if I remember correctly. But
so they got a lot to expand.
oh yeah, they could go a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
And like they had Fallout Vegas, which was based in Las Vegas. Fallout 3 was based in right around Washington, D.C. I don't know where 76 is going to be based. We won't know till E3 next week. But yeah, it's a good storyline. Just the mechanics. It's a first-person shooter game, basically. It's like a first-person RPG type of thing. But when you go into battle, you have the option of just using your weapon straight, which resources are very limited when you first start out. Like you start out literally with a BB gun and a baseball bat, and you have to scavenge parts and ammo. But you could take an option. So say you see a scavenger there and you want to take him out. You could go into the one mode where you could pick, and a little diagram of the person comes up, and you could pick which part of the body you want to shoot at. And that's your shot. So you could take a headshot, but if you miss the headshot, they don't die, and you waste that round. Or you could shoot at the hand if they're holding a weapon. And it's a mechanic I'm not used to. I'm a run and gun type of guy, and I don't have time for that.
I'm more of a nail him with a headshot and move on kind of guy.
Spray and pray when you walk into the room,
Yeah, well, that kind of stuff too. But, like when I played not Black Ops 4, sorry, not playing it, unless they give me, a free copy. But when I play any Call of Duties, and I know you guys call me sheep for it, but I really enjoy them. They're a lot of, they're like, they're 8 hours of mindless fun for me, or 10 or 12 or whatever it is these days. But
like your wife.
No, it's like 14 minutes. But I just try to hit because you're trying to just move forward.
Yeah.
In any shooter, it's like that. You're just trying to get to the next area. You know what I mean? Or get that next checkpoint, which is usually what it is. At first you're just trying to take guys out with shotguns or rocket launchers, and then you just come to find out that you cap them in the head, and then you keep going. It's so much simpler. What game? Like you said, what was that game? The Duke Nukem engine game that came out. The one that I wanted to play, but I can't. It's on Steam.
Oh,
Shit.
Ion Maiden.
Iron Maiden. That's what you said. Headshots were in that.
Yeah.
Once you figure out headshots work in a first-person shooter, your game 50% faster.
Okay. I love that in like Project Brutality and what was the one you sent me?
Zion.
The Doom mod makes it look like the new Doom.
Zion, HD.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
So the one you sent me, they have headshots in there too.
Yeah.
And Doom Champion Edition has it as well.
Oh yeah, but you gotta hit the railgun with that.
So,
that's the only way you do that.
But when they put headshots in, that's a nice. It's a nice modern feature to throw in a game you're so familiar with, like Ion Maiden. It's basically a build game, but they added that mechanic in there that you're so used to now. I mean, Halo really started the headshots.
I don't know. Wasn't that in GoldenEye?
It was. I'm talking PC though.
Oh, okay. I'm just talking shooters in general.
Oh, shooters in general. Yeah, GoldenEye had the. They also had the man with the golden gun, which was just unfair.
Blink. All right, next blink. All right.
Yeah.
I used to piss my. I actually got, like I said before in that game, I actually got my boyfriend to leave his own home. Because fuck this game, I'm leaving. I'm like, you're in your own house. He walks out the door. So anyway, back to Fallout, because there was an article here.
Mm-hmm.
People actually watched that for more than 24 hours. Of that, the Pip-Boy and Please Stand By. That's all they did.
Did you see Angry Joe's post on Twitter that at one point they actually laid Pip-Boy down and put a blanket over him? Like he's going to sleep overnight?
God.
It's like, oh my God.
Did you see that, speaking of Angry Joe, because I like him, they let him interview the guy who's helping them make Battlefield 5?
Really?
And after Joe ripped their fucking ass up over a different game the company made, Joe tore into him hard. And he was really stunned. He was really shocked that they said, "Oh yeah, we'll do an interview with you." See, that shows that the industry trusts somebody like him.
Yes,
because he has millions of people who listen to him.
And not only that, he's not just a reviewer. I mean, the guy loves games. The guy makes board games, so he understands the underlying mechanics of strategy and.
That looks fucking stupid.
I like the miniatures. But
the figures are nice.
Yeah, the figures are beautiful.
The figures are nice.
I'm not into board games. So.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if I could buy the figures,
mm-hmm.
To put on a bookshelf or whatever, yeah, I'm there. But I don't need the game too. That's, I want that Angry Joe Army shirt. I'll order one of them. We need shirts for this show.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we do. Because we can just wear them every week.
I was gonna say you can't see our shirts.
Yeah, good point. All right, moving on. So yeah, that's pretty much it. People just watch the Pip-Boy for 24 hours. That shows you kind of sheep.
But that shows you what kind of fan base it has too.
Yeah.
I mean, if they did something, if Activision did something like that for Black Ops, there'd be people tuning in for that.
Yeah, it would probably choke Twitch out.
Yeah.
The thing would be crashing like Twitter in the early days.
Fail whale.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen that in I don't know how long. You shouldn't actually see it now. So, let's see. What we got? We got two more about games, I think, this week. We got the Atari Retro VCS finally now available for pre-order. Let's see. What's the prices on this? I know there was somewhere in this article there's a price guide. Maybe there isn't. Oh, here it is. You can get, actually, the collector's edition with a fine wood grade finish is available for $2.99, and the black onyx edition, which, hey, stop. It's Atari.
It's Atari that I could go buy a 2600 with wood grain right now for $25.
Yeah, I know that. But this also is going to play modern games, so let's be real. It's got a Linux base, and we've done this sort of. Both models and classic joysticks or modern joystick controllers are available exclusively through Indiegogo. And they plan to ship them in mid-2019. So about a year from now.
I got one word for you.
What?
Ouya.
Phantom. Let's go way back in time.
Yeah.
I had high hopes for the Phantom.
I don't see this working. I honestly don't see this working. It's a gimmick. It's all it is. People want to own a part of that Atari name that they held on to in their childhood. Something new with Atari's name on it. I want it.
Yeah.
For what?
Well, it's apparently working considering they have $2 million in pre-orders.
Oh my God.
That's $2 million. $2 million.
How many ET cartridges is that?
All of them. Including the ones they buried and ran over and buried again.
I see this as a nostalgia trip, but I see if this actually gets made, how many of these things do we fund on Indiegogo or GoFundMe or Kickstarter and they never come to fruition? Phantom.
Well, the Phantom.
Ouya
came to fruition.
And it died 6 months later.
Indiegogo's ever, or whatever it was.
So.
At the time, anyway.
Yeah.
But then it just failed.
Yeah. It failed because it was
selling Ouyas like RetroPies, where all the stuff's already built in for all the consoles. All you just plug it into your TV and go.
And see, Ouya had the same concept, kind of Atari. That it's a Linux base, and in their case, they were Android base, but you could download games directly to it. You could play. While the Ouya went more for the mobile game genre and the retro 8-bit games. Atari is going for more modern games, and it's like the bridge between the Phantom, which was supposed to play full PC games, versus the Ouya, which is not a computer, just not a set-top box, but I mean it's not a full computer like the Atari isn't a full computer. I don't see how this is going to succeed. You can't. To me, you can't straddle both worlds. That's why you don't see Raspberry Pis or even Tinkerboards being used for modern gaming. They're just not powerful enough.
Well, I'm going to go to the Indiegogo site here just to see what the... please don't play this video. Please don't. Thank God. Oh, God, I hate when you go right to a site and it fucking starts playing a video. So, here we go. So, $29... All right, so $299 for the wood grain version.
That's fucking a lot. That's a Switch right there.
It is. $29 for the wireless classic Atari joystick. Okay, whatever. The modern controller's $50. Together, you can get them on a deal. They're $60 for both. So that's actually like $10 off. That's actually a pretty good deal. The Vader edition, they call it Onyx Early Bird, but
the Vader edition.
It's the Vader edition. Well, that's what the old one was nicknamed. If you didn't have the wood grain one, the original 2600, you had the Vader. It's $199 if you get the Vader version, which that's not bad.
Okay, I gotta ask for the $100 difference. Is it real wood grain, or is it like the 2600 where it's just a wood grain sticker? Because if I'm paying an extra $100 for a sticker,
all that comes with here's what it is. These are a limited time. Oh, that doesn't even say anything. So there's already 1,600 of these ordered, which because I like Indiegogo, they really tell you like how many have been claimed already. So $299 gets you the collector's edition. That's the wood grain one, and a controller. Okay, now you go down to the regular one, the Onyx Early Bird, or the Onyx, the Vader, whatever. You get the oh wait, it's $229. I'm sorry, because you get that in a joystick, so it's $70 difference for a slight piece of wood grain on the front of your. And mind you, there's been 24,000 of those ordered already.
24,000 of the wood grain?
No, the regular.
Oh, okay, the Vader, the Onyx.
Yeah, 25,000 of the Onyx with the controller and the classic controller, if that makes any sense. So this thing's flying off the shelf. The wood grain ones aren't really selling from what I could tell.
Well, you're paying an extra $70 for a fucking sticker.
Yeah, essentially.
Now, because I don't know too much about this, you're my brain for this. Obviously, it comes with the classic joystick to play original Atari games.
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to come with the entire back library of Atari games?
It comes with that was in the other article they had. So let me back up. It comes with 100 games from Atari's classic library, the Atari Vault, they call it, from Asteroids to Gravatar, and they'll all be playable on the VCS, which it hurts for me to call it the VCS since I own an actual VCS. The thing will also play PC games that aren't too intensive. I'm not sure exactly.
Solitaire.
Yeah.
Angry Birds.
Yeah. I don't think Doom is the new Doom, I should say.
No.
It's going to be on there. It'd be really funny if the old one was. Could you imagine playing the old Doom with that controller? Anyway.
It actually would work, because...
all you need is... well, how do you open doors?
That's okay, you got a problem there.
Yeah. You got Shoot, and that's all you got. So for $339, which is this is the highest one, by the way, you get the wood grain one and both controllers. So there you go.
No.
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 This is like $50 to $100. They should be selling.
So when are they supposed to ship? 2019?
Yeah, it says mid 2019.
Okay. So a year from now will be mid 2019. We'll come back a year from now and talk about how they've not shipped yet.
That's fair. Just put it on my calendar.
Okay.
Yeah, copy that. Let's see. What are the features at a glance? With the Atari VCS, you can... here we go. You can play new and classic games on a single platform.
Woo!
Get online and get more with Atari's first connected device.
Woo!
Subscription required for additional services.
Oh.
Voice control technology. Hey, Xbox on. Never worked. I have that Xbox with my Xbox One. It works 50% of the time. You can stream your favorite web-based content. Customize.
It's a Netflix machine.
Yeah, with YouTube, I would think at least. Port or create new content and apps into the integrated Linux sandbox. That's actually pretty interesting. Personalize and store playlists of content of all kinds. Engage and share across your local platforms. So, I don't know what that means. Sounds kind of bullshitty to me.
Yeah. That's marketing BS right there.
Yeah, that's pretty good too. Remember what George Carlin said about marketing? Anyway.
Does it say what kind of onboard memory it has?
Let's see. I'm going to imagine no, it does not.
Because the Atari ROMs are only a couple K a piece, but if you're talking some modern games, you're going to have at least a couple gigabytes in there.
Yeah, I'd imagine. God, they're really pushing this Atari Vault. No, it doesn't have that. It doesn't show that. It says as an AMD Radeon processor, a low TDP architecture. Any idea what that means?
Not top of my head.
It's got a snowflake next to it, so I wonder if that's temperature related. It's compatible with most PC peripherals. It's compatible with your smart home integration. So, Atari, turn the lights on. Is that what we're going to be able to do?
Probably.
Can't get the fucking Xbox to turn the TV on. It could connect with your home entertainment system and a customizable UX. So, real wood front panel. It's not fake.
Okay, that is worth the $70.
$70 piece of wood. I'll tape a piece of wood to it. To the Vader version.
I'll come over to the big fucking 2x4 duct tape to the front of the Vader edition. There's my wood grain, bitch.
Eat the wood grain. I love it. Oh, so look at they have all these reviews from other places. Atari is making a comeback with the VCS. Atari could have a real winner on its hands, and that's from Forbes magazine.
It's gonna have a real winner on its hands, all right.
All right. So, but I don't know. Are they, like you said, are they selling this on the name? Yes. They have to be.
Yes, I would say they're definitely selling it on the name, and you can't tell me, even though I know this has been rumored for a year, you can't tell me they didn't come out with this at this time when Ready Player One is going to be coming on video, well, home streaming next month.
Yeah.
And that's just laden with Atari references. They're riding the nostalgia train there.
Oh, here we go. Here we got actual what's inside the box here? Hang on. Memory. It's got 32 gigabytes of eMMC memory.
Okay, that's actually not bad. I'm actually impressed with that.
Yeah. It's got 4 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM.
Okay, that's not bad either. That's pretty good.
Then it has 30. Yeah, it has. But it also has external. You could hook up external hard drives to it and SD. It has an SD card slot. So, which means it'll be hacked 2 weeks into the process.
Oh God, it's
2 days.
It's Linux based. I mean,
yeah. Cloud storage will be offered. Required interconnection, not for classic gaming, but required to access all features. It'll have Skype and Discord because, like Dante, they're everywhere. Voice commands from blah, 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 boring. Live streaming with Twitch.tv. It'll have mouse and keyboard support, and nobody cares about the controllers because they're just fucking controllers. So.
Okay, this could be like the Switch where you and I a year from now are eating our words, or we're going to be right like we were about the Ouya and the Phantom, and this is just going to be shitty vaporware.
Well, I think it's going to... What do you call vapor hardware?
I don't know.
We'll get back to that later.
Well, I call the Phantom vaporware because they never shipped them.
It was a Phantom.
Oh!
Yeah, that was pretty smart. That was quick on my part. I look how they have the materials that the system is made of. Plastic, metal, and wood. Like, no fucking shit on 2 of them. All right, enough bashing Atari, or, I don't know. I hope we're wrong.
I do too, but I think all that, if they sold that at $100 to $150, it would be great. $300 when you could buy a PS4 or a Switch at that cost, or even an Xbox One right now. I don't see the appeal of that.
Can't you go on like any fucking game service ever and buy all the Atari games for like $3?
Oh, well, I could go online and download them in less than 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And here's another point. Okay, they said the Atari Vault. Those of us who grew up in that area, they had the same game come out multiple times on the 5200, 2600, and 7800.
Well, yeah. Not all of them, but some of them, yeah.
Some games. So how do you choose, like Asteroids? Asteroids was out across multiple systems. How do you choose which version to put out?
I would only buy the 2600 versions.
Can you choose? So if you have, say, Asteroids...
Or do you get them all?
I don't know.
Let's be real. The 5200 was a piece of shit.
It was.
Yeah. And... 7800 was actually pretty good. You know how many times I walked past one of them at yard sales and shit over the years and I regret it? They were selling them for like $8 and I'm like...
Well, you could kill someone with it. It's so freaking big.
That's okay. That's okay. Yeah,
Whatever.
Big is good. Big is reliable. When all else fails, you can kill somebody with it. So...
Well,
let's talk about shit we don't need.
Okay.
How about a sequel to Top Gun? Why do we need this?
I got a confession to make. After I saw that yesterday, the wife and I watched the original Top Gun last night.
It's a good movie.
And it is as cheesy, horrible, and fun as I remember when I watched it the last time, like 15 years ago. Or probably 20 years ago now. But, yeah, the working title is Top Gun Maverick. So, obviously, it has to do with him. At the end of Top Gun, he went back to be an instructor. So, I'm thinking this is probably going to be like a Maverick swan song, kind of like Rambo was, the new Rambo, which are coming out with another one of those.
Yeah, versus the Mexican cartel.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like one last hop and just proof once more that we're completely out of ideas in Hollywood, that we keep having to revisiting and rebooting these old franchises.
It's not even like you rebooted the old Rambo. You used the same guy.
Well, and same thing with Top Gun, but you're revisiting it Top Gun was 84? 84, I believe. So you're talking 34 years later.
Yeah.
You're making a sequel. I mean,
And he's, don't be wrong, like, I think a consistent, yeah, no, why are they doing this?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
maybe this new Mission Impossible is going to be the last one, and Tom Cruise needs another cash cow.
I don't think this will be the last Mission Impossible. Because you know what happens? Like, Mission Impossible is weird. Like, you get, it's like, except for 2, that movie sucks.
I stopped watching after 3. 3 was just so unbelievable. I had such hopes when Philip Seymour Hoffman was the bad guy, and he ended up pushing out anyway.
Yeah. Actually, the Ghost Protocol is really good. And then Rogue Nation, that's actually pretty good too. Simon Pegg's in him.
Yeah.
You can't beat it with him. You know, he's pretty good.
I always thought the first one was the best for one simple fact, and you don't think about it till you watch it.
It's as hokey as the TV show is?
Not so much as hokey as the TV show, but Ethan Hunt never shoots a gun once.
Nope.
In the entire movie. That, to me, that's kind of like, okay, you're the spy, you're the stealthy one. I mean, in the third one, which obviously was John Woo, I mean, he's doing pistols akimbo, going everywhere, and it's like, that's not really that stealthy or spy-like.
Well, no, and I get that, but I think, like, and this is just my personal opinion, I think after a while, spies can't be stealthy anymore either. Call of Duty Black Ops 4. You can't be stealthy all the time, I would imagine. Eventually, you just got to doom to it and just run in that
I don't
road.
know, man. That the last fight in Skyfall, stealth won that fight.
Yeah.
They had a fucking attack helicopter, and they took down the helicopter from inside the house.
How about you make them trip mines, man?
Yeah. And the nails and the shotgun shells.
Oh, fuck, man. That had hurt. That had hurt all day.
And he got M in there even to get messy.
Yeah. God.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a good movie. I might have to watch that. But
yeah, I don't know how this is going to go. I mean, as long... and you're going to laugh at this, but think about Hollywood. And I'm going to say this. It's going to be okay as long as they don't try to bring back Goose.
no, they're not going to do that. Gonna be the ghost of Goose. I mean, come on.
Or maybe Goose's... What do you have? I think he had a little boy. Yeah, a little boy. You know, he grows up, and Maverick is teaching him now.
I'm calling it now. Or you calling it
like
now.
Creed.
Yeah.
This is going to be the Creed of Top Gun.
Open that fortune cookie, because we're right. Fuckers.
Well, the new Rocky movie is going to have Ivan Drago's son.
Yeah.
Well, Creed 2.
I must break you.
Still one of the best lines.
It is. I don't care that he... Like, then you come to find out that guy, who is that? That's Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
He's like a really smart guy.
Yeah, he's like into chemistry or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
he's got a PhD or something like that. Not PhD, but a doctorate in chemistry or something like that. I'm like, holy fuck. Did you see him in The Expendables? He looks drunk the entire time. Which maybe they wanted him to be like that, and it just worked out for him. But he looks hammered the whole time. Poor guy.
Still one of the most iconic lines.
It is.
I must break you. Bam! Hits the gloves.
That might be a good ringtone.
Good
For that later.
text tone for the wife. Every time she texts, I must break you.
I must break you. Even though he's not Russian at all. No, but
He's Swedish.
yeah.
Which?
Remember there's that Ivan Drago side-scrolling game?
Yes.
You see that?
Yeah. They did that on Cinemassacre.
Yeah.
Which?
That's what I gotta download that now.
So Dolph Lundgren, before he was Ivan Drago, was He-Man in Masters of the Universe.
Oh, that movie's so good.
And I didn't find this out till many, many years later, that the director, they hired him based on looks alone because he could pull off the He-Man look. When they got there, they realized he could barely speak any English. All he could really speak was broken English in his Swedish accent. So they worked with a dialect coach, and much like Ken Watanabe in The Last Samurai, he was fed his lines phonetically to say. and that's why you can barely understand what He-Man's saying throughout the movie.
And he doesn't talk much in it.
No.
No, thank God for that. He got I Have the Power, you know. You remember Hercules in New York?
I have actually never seen that, but yeah, that was Schwarzenegger where his voice was dubbed.
Yeah, somebody else did Schwarzenegger's voice the entire film. That's what they should have done with He-Man. In fact, you know what? They shouldn't have done He-Man.
There's actually a good, if you look on YouTube, it's on there. It's a good documentary about the disaster that was making Masters of the Universe. Because they ran out of money.
First off, that film screams 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Every piece of it.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, anyway.
But the movie actually ran out of money before they could finish it. So the director got together with some of the cast and crew and Dolph Lundgren and Frank Langella. That whole horrible finish scene with the golden Skeletor and everything.
Yeah.
They shot that, I believe, in 1 or 2 days. They actually broke into the sets to film it because they weren't allowed to be on there because there was no money to pay for the production. And they all did that last scene. That's why it was so quick, so horrible, for free to get the film finished so they can actually take it to post-production and edit it. Because at that point they had the movie filmed except the ending, and they ran out of money at the very end because they could not finish it.
Yeah, that was Courtney Cox before she was anybody.
Yep, and Robert Duncan McNeil before he was on Star Trek.
Yeah. Wow.
And the guy.
Yeah, that's not a movie I want to watch right now.
And for another geek ripple, the guy who played Quildor.
Yeah. The short guy.
The short guy. That was Billy. The hell's his last name? Billy something. But he's the same guy that played Macintosh, the little cameraman in UHF.
Oh, I remember him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't watched that in a long time. I own that. I think I own that on iTunes.
I own that in a couple different ways.
Yeah.
So
it's got a great soundtrack.
Although not as many times as I've purchased Army of Darkness in my life.
Oh, I bought that like 12 times.
Yeah, I bought that more than I bought Highlander, and that says a lot right there.
You know, every time they come out with a new version of Army of Darkness, I'm like, even if it could say on the cover with only 3 more seconds of footage, I'd be like, purchase now.
Although the alternate ending sucked. I'm glad they kept that out. The one where he gets, he sleeps too long.
Up in the future.
Yeah, and
I slept too long. I do like that. You know, they extended the in that one though. At least I think they did. They extend the scene where he's in the cave, like with the car and everything. Like that gets a little longer for some reason, only because he's sleeping through it and he wakes up to it. Like you can see the car is all rusted out now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
The classic.
Yeah. Oh God, that was a good car. It's in every film that he does, Sam Raimi. All right, so we got one more?
One more?
One more is
I'm glad you're keeping track.
I am, because I have them all at the top of my screen here, so that's how this works. How big a box office dud is the new Star Wars spinoff Solo?
I'll preface this by saying I have not seen it yet. Have you?
No. Okay.
So, the big thing is they're calling it a failure, they're calling it a flop. Relatively speaking, it's made over $100 million so far. So, for any other movie, that'd be considered a hit. $100 million in a week. But when you take into effect it costs $250 million to make, another $150 million to promote it, they haven't even made back their promotional budget yet, let alone their film budget.
Disney said that this film was going to make $1 billion.
Nope.
Yeah, it's not going to make half that.
No.
If they're lucky. That's with digital and DVD sales 5 years from now.
I think by the time it comes out in digital and video, they'll be lucky if they break 300 million.
Yeah. Which, I don't know. You know what? If you look at the people we're mutually friends with on Facebook and you look at reviews, people are 50-50 about it.
Yeah.
I've seen just as many Solo was terrible things as I've seen how did these people hate Solo? It was really good.
And
is it because it's not Harrison Ford? Is that what it is? Maybe, I don't know.
well, they're also blaming it on what they're terming Star Wars fatigue, which I can kind of see that because ever since The Force Awakens, we've gotten a new Star Wars movie every year.
Whether it's Rogue One or
We've gotten a Star Wars movie. I mean, we got The Force Awakens, Rogue One, The Last Jedi, now Solo. They've already greenlit a Boba Fett movie. We're not getting Episode 9 till I believe July of 2019. It's not going to be a Christmas release because of Solo. So, because they always release theirs at Christmas.
Solo.
But I do agree that there's going to be some fatigue because people were so hyped for Phantom Menace. It was the first movie to come out in 16 years. And then it was huge, but it was also disappointing once I was a huge fanboy for Phantom Menace until you actually get home and you start thinking about the movie going, wow, that really wasn't that good. Let me go see it again. Nah, still wasn't that good. Let me try a third time. Nope, still not good.
Now they got 80 of your hard-earned dollars.
Exactly. That's how that movie made so much money. Yeah. People are going, no, it can't be that bad. It's Star Wars.
Yeah.
And then, well, you had the next two with Hayden Christensen, who can't act to save his life.
Yeah, he couldn't act his way out of a wet paper bag.
No. And then after that, thank God, George Lucas stopped. So the last one was released in, 2004, 2005, somewhere around there. So now you're talking 2018. This is year 4, technically, of Star Wars films. So you had almost a 10-year period in between Star Wars films to get people wanting again. And now you're saying, okay, now we're going to go back to where you want to pick it up, which is 30 years after the original movies. Now we're going to have an old Han Solo, an old Luke Skywalker, an old Leia, and everyone wanted that. And The Force Awakens was huge because of that. And then Rogue One, okay, we're going to fill in some timeline gaps right before A New Hope. While I liked Rogue One, it wasn't your typical Star Wars movie.
No.
And
that's why they call it a Star Wars
story. Exactly. Yeah. So that was mediumly received. A lot of people didn't like it. They thought it was a waste. Then you had The Last Jedi, which is a straight 50-50. You either love it or you hate it. I've talked to people that hate it. I loved it personally. So people hated what they did with Luke. I thought making Luke a curmudgeon-y old man was perfect.
Yeah.
And then
I thought Yoda blowing up the tree was the best.
Yeah.
He's trying to set fire to it, and Yoda just goes.
That was the best part of the movie because I had no clue that Yoda was in it. And just to see Yoda, it's like, yeah.
In a theater, I'm sitting there. I think Kelly was with me, my brother, a couple other people. And I'm like, holy fuck, it's Yoda.
And I love Luke's reaction, just the air, like the annoyance, like, oh, Master Yoda. I mean, it was just great. But then you came.
They weren't pulling out Ben Kenobi, That's
yeah. But then you come after that. Now you're doing a Han Solo movie, which again, like Rogue One, no one's really asked for. And now you're kind of.
Was anybody asked for a Boba Fett film?
Yes, actually, believe it or not. People, there's so many Boba Fett people out there. It's not even funny.
What cracks me up about Boba Fett is that if you watch him in the original trilogy of 4, 5, 6, he's pretty much below a minor character in the film.
If you
he's in it on 4 minutes.
If you watch the original cut, the special editions added him more into Jedi, but I agree with you there that. It'd be like Wedge Antilles had more lines than Boba Fett, and he had more screen time than Boba Fett had.
Yes.
So I want a Wedge Antilles movie, damn it. Yeah. Wedge, a Star Wars story.
Yeah. Please don't do this, Disney. Please don't do this.
Akbar, a Star Wars story.
Yeah, it's a trap. It's 30 minutes of him saying that.
So, but I think it is kind of Star Wars fatigue that, okay, you can't have all your Star Wars movies hit $1 billion every year. What's that?
You keep saying Star Wars fatigue.
Yes.
Which, okay, I understand.
Yes.
Somewhat agree with. But why haven't we hit Marvel fatigue?
I have a theory about that. The reason you haven't hit Marvel fatigue is because Marvel's fucking brilliant. Because look back at all the movies, all the stories are interwoven to each other.
Well, aren't the Star Wars movies
No.
connected?
They're kind of connected, but they're not connected like the Marvel movies are. The Marvel movies, you're coming out with more than one a year. So
Yeah.
you had the first one, which was Iron Man. At the very end, you had Nick Cage come in and talk about the Avenger Initiative.
Nick Cage?
Nick Cage, sorry. Wow, did I say Luke Cage?
No, you said Nick Cage. I said Luke
Cage.
Um,
Wow.
Let's move on. Let's move on. That never happened.
That never happened at all.
Delete this. Last 10 seconds of the show.
Okay, so you had him come in and talk about the Avengers Initiative. Then you had Iron Man 2 come in and show a little bit of the Avengers Initiative, what it's going to be. Then, actually, in between that, you had the Incredible Hulk, which had Tony Stark at the end with the general, which I forget his name. So you had that cameo. It's all about the after scenes as well. But then in Iron Man 2, you got to see what's coming next because when he's making that new element, you see Captain America's shield there.
Mm-hmm.
You see...
Clever foreshadowing.
Exactly. Then we introduce the character of War Machine in there as well. We introduce Black Widow, which...
Thank God they introduced her.
Yes, thank God. And then you have Thor, which introduces... what's that?
Hawkeye.
Which introduces... Well, no, that's the Avengers.
No, he was... Hawkeye was in the original Thor movie.
Was he?
Yeah.
I haven't seen the original. That's the only one I haven't seen besides... I was told I didn't need to see that, so I haven't. But there, you're introducing Thor. You're introducing Asgard. You're introducing Loki, which then spills over into the first Avengers movie, where now you're bringing the Tesseract in, which was in Captain America, and you're bringing Loki in, and then you're forming everything together that, again, is going to spill off into your Ant-Man, who comes with Falcon, and Winter Soldier, where you get Falcon, and it's just all intertwined that if you want to know the big story of everything, you're going to go see these movies every year to get the bigger story to lead up to Infinity War, where there's just too many characters, and you get that together where you don't see that in the Star Wars. They're focusing on smaller characters. Rogue One, we focused on a bunch of characters except for Vader and Leia at the very end. The only person we knew was Tarkin. And that was just a creepy CGI Tarkin. Nobody else we knew.
He was creepy.
He was. Solo, okay, we have Solo, we have Chewie, we have Lando. But again, it's a prequel. I really don't care about Han's backstory. I'm a huge Han Solo fan. I don't care.
Although Lando is also a minor character.
Yes. I want a Lando movie.
Yeah, we know. You said it last time.
I know. I just think a Lando movie would be fun.
Colt 45.
Works every time.
Yeah.
So.
That's so terrible. So, I wanted to see Solo in the theater. I thought, Rogue One was good-ish.
It was. I felt bad. I took my son to see Rogue One, and it was more intellectual than it was live action. Right. That when I took him to see The Force Awakens, big explosions and lightsaber battles, and Rogue One, let's be honest, the ending was just goddamn depressing until Vader just rips through the rebels, and that made it worthwhile for the last 2 hours.
You had to know how Rogue One was going to end at the beginning of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like any of those characters were in any other Star Wars film. So when you started to meet him, I remember sitting with my brother in the theater going, I can't get too attached to these guys, can I? He's like, nope.
Spoiler, they all die. They die in a big fireball.
Yeah.
But
Many Bothans died. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. They say that, and who the hell are the Bothans?
It never happened.
They never picked up what a Bothan is.
Yeah.
But I think they need to focus on this third trilogy. And unless they get a really good idea for another Star Wars story, they should just kind of shelve those for now. Or don't have such high expectations. Don't expect every one of your Star Wars movies to make $1 billion. That's just That's
I don't think
unrealistic.
Rogue One made $1 billion.
No, it didn't. I think it. Well,
I think it was pretty high.
I think it made only 800 million.
Yeah.
Only.
Yeah, but to Disney, that's a loss.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
That guy turned a mouse into the world.
That's just, I don't know. That's my feeling on it.
Yeah, I agree. I think now this has come down to rental for me. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I think it's definitely going to be digital release.
Yeah, Redbox perhaps.
Yeah. Like, I still want to try to get it to the theater to see Deadpool 2, but sadly, I don't think that's happening.
It's good.
So, I know it's good, but
yeah,
I just don't think that's happening right now.
And just one more thing about Solo.
Sure.
It was out at the same time Avengers: Infinity War and fucking Deadpool was out.
Yeah.
You're going up against some heavy hitters there.
Yeah. Did you see someone took the poster for Deadpool 2? And instead of putting Deadpool 2, it had Josh Brolin's having an awesome month.
It's true.
It is.
It is totally the truth. Man, he was good in both films. I mean, he was really good as Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, it's just his voice.
No, they did motion capture for that.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
I'm surprised because he's on a. But I'll tell you, him as Cable is out of this world good. Well,
yeah,
and they hit a lot of shit about Cable that I
Mm-hmm.
was concerned about. They didn't mention his heritage, which I really thought they would have, but they didn't. But there's a lot of stuff in it. I was like, wow, that's okay, But he's a complete asshole in the film. Though. Like, every second he's on screen.
I do have a bit of good movie news. The latest Michael Bay Transformers movie has been shelved. Paramount has taken that and just, like Disney, they put it into the vault.
Yeah,
Hopefully never to be opened again.
Yeah. Into the vault, light with a lighter.
Yeah.
Fucking Mr. Wizard's World.
Like the Italian Job, just blow it into the water under Venice. Just leave it there.
Right. Leave it there to die. Kill it with fire. Kill it with fire. Mr. Wizard's World. Why did I say that? I showed that. That's because I showed it to the kids last week on YouTube. All right, so I think we're out of things to bitch and moan about.
Oh, we're never out of stuff to bitch and moan about, but yeah. I think we're done with this bitch session.
I got I told you this afternoon. I got that Curse of the Moon.
Yes.
Say Curse of the Moon. It is the best. I should say the best because I think Shovel Knight is the best retro game that's come out in a long time. But it's the best complete ripoff of Shovel Knight that you could get in a Castlevania game. It looks just like Shovel Knight's graphics. Like they're real crisp 8 to 16-bit sprites somewhere in there, It has a very Castlevania feel. I mean, the guy who created it, the original Castlevania is making these. But it has more of a... Like, there are parts of it where I'm like, this is Castlevania 3. This looks just like it. And then there's times when it looks like it's a little more modern, like 16-bit, but then it falls back. It's got better, like... Where I say that is it's like there wasn't a lot of stuff happening in the background of an NES game.
Yeah.
You had a little parallax scrolling, which if you're not if you're a gamer and don't know what that is, shut the fucking show off.
Yeah. Seriously.
A parallax scrolling, but there's neat stuff in the background. Like something I found neat was for an 8-bit looking game was, your character's walking through like a train station, and a train passes behind them.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's really neat. You know what I mean? But the story is fucking Castlevania. Good guy go kill bad guy. But it's got a great mechanic of you have multiple character to use at the same time, all with different abilities. Like I've only gotten 2 of them right now, so I know there's another one. But one is like your standard Belmont with a whip. Another one is like almost like a samurai. Like the guy has a sword and he's got like whip. He's also got like everybody has like sub weapons in the game. So your original character whose name I don't know or care about at this point. I'll remember it someday. It's not Simon Belmont.
Copyright.
Yeah, copyright infringement. Copyright. Anyway,
That old Dave Letterman sound. Oh no, we're going to get sued.
God, that's great. Do you still have that? Anyway.
Yeah, of course I do.
Yeah,
I'm
I know.
I'm a
Actually,
digital pack rat.
yeah, I know. Anything I've asked you over the last decade, do you still have this? He's like, yeah. Remember our Doom map? This place blows.
Yes.
God, that was great too. You still have that?
Yeah.
My God, you're good. Anyway, so everybody's got a different sub weapon, and the game's pretty neat about it. Like, so you're walking through, and if you're one character, and there's different candles because there's still candles. Yellow ones are like your standard, like ones that drop hearts, even though they're like jars in this for your sub weapon. But like there's purple ones that are a sub weapon, like they're highlighted to show you that. But you have to change your character if you need a different one for that said character. It's not like they're universal between them. Everyone has different ones.
Yeah.
So it's pretty neat. You know what I mean? It's pretty neat like that. It definitely has a very Castlevania 3 feeling to it with multiple characters and the way it looks. And you can already see, like, even in the first level, you can see that there's paths that you can't get to yet.
Mm-hmm.
But so you need a character that you'll get presumably way later.
Like Symphony of the Night was, where you had to wait till you turn into the bat or the mist to get through certain areas.
Exactly. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
it's the Metroidvania style of gaming, which is good. That's a time honored, genre of gaming that's always good. Well, for the most part.
And we should say this is an 8-bit version where of the same kind of storylines. It's not the same game. They're actually coming out with a modern version, which looks a lot like a very polished Symphony of the Night version.
Yeah, that's not called Curse of the Moon, no.
No, it's not.
It's Ritual of the Night.
Because this is the prequel to that movie. They did this as a side project for their Kickstarter.
They were told that if they were going to do, I think somebody said, like, if they were going to do all this, they had to put this 8-bit game out first to show people the universe that it's going to be set. But you can see it's really a ripoff of Castlevania.
Oh,
like,
of course.
There's no doubt about it,
But we need that considering we're not going to get another Castlevania anytime soon. Now that Konami just pretty much said, we're done. No more games.
Konami said, hey, pachinko machines of the future.
Yeah.
Really?
So
portable games of the future. Well, that's partially true, but how about a good old-fashioned Belmont? How about release all the original games in a pack?
Yeah.
I'll take that. How about everything from Castlevania 1 or Haunted Castle, if you go back that far, to Symphony of the Night? Give me all the games in between that.
Now, those are games we could do an HD remix of.
No.
Oh. You can't imagine an HD remix of Super Castlevania 4.
I don't want it to change. I really like how it looks.
But we have the original versions. We could play those.
I know, but I don't know. It's like remaking Back to the Future. You don't want that to happen.
That is true.
Yeah, think of it in that respect.
Yeah.
Like for somebody like me who's like Castlevania fan, basically I'm a fan of the original franchises. If you go back that far, Metroid and Castlevania and Super Mario and Zelda and Mega Man too. Mega Man 11's coming out.
I saw that. That's weird. It looks weird.
I know. It'll be painful. I'll love it.
But I mean, just the art style. It's that 2.5D blending of the classic look with the newer graphics, and it's just, I don't know. It hurt my brain watching Mega Man in 2.5D.
How's that song go? Hurts so good. Anyway. Yeah, I won't ever say it again on this show. Thank God.
Leave the Mellencamp out of the podcast.
Yeah. John Cougar Mellencamp. John, who are you this week? So overall, it's worth $10, and I got it on the PS4, only because I wanted to play it with my PS4 controller. I feel I would do better with that. I think it's on everything though.
Yeah, it is. I was gonna buy it on Switch the other day, but just don't have the game budget right now.
That'll fucking piss him off.
Oh, he hates those games.
Really?
So he absolutely hates them.
I think he would get into Shovel Knight.
He might. He likes games like you could do resource management and build things in. Like he loves Minecraft. He's huge and he's back into Terraria like big time. He loves Terraria. But he like the side-scrolling regular old-fashioned games. He just finds them very hard because he's used to a non-linear game like the kids
Yeah.
are today, where this is no, you have a start point, you have an end point, you need to get from point A to point B and survive. Where he's
Yeah.
like, well, why can't I go back? Well, because you can't go back. That's not the way Nintendo games work. You can't go back. Once you go forward,
You
you're
can go
done.
right, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know,
And that
I remember
frustrates
that
the
was
hell
like
out
a
of
big thing in like when you got to Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis
Yeah.
era was going left. You know, they were like, "Holy fuck, you can go back!" You know, like when you played Super Mario World that first time.
Yeah.
And you went the other way. You know, it was like.
Well, I saw a meme once. The quickest way to fuck my mind is to make me play Mario by going left.
Yeah. Wasn't that Super Luigi Brothers? That was all the. What was that Super Luigi Wii U or whatever it was? It was like. It was the whatever the Mario game was. It was Super Mario Wii U or whatever it was. But the game was backwards as Luigi. Like instead of going right, you went left for everything.
That would fuck me up.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. See, that's not, like, can you ever be playing a side-scroller game and you're going right, and then the game throws you a curve and it wants you to go the other way?
Yeah.
And you're like,
What?
what the fuck is what? No.
Bionic Commando was like that, the very first one.
Yeah. Castlevania 3's like that.
Yeah.
There's stages that go left and then right.
So, but yeah, I really want to pick it up. It just unfortunately this week isn't good for a game budget, but that is it's actually in my wish list right now.
Oh, damn, I should have bought it on the Switch. I had Switch points left. Fuck, I could have gone for nothing.
See?
Should have watched it. All right, moving on.
How do you get Switch points? What do you buy the gift cards and get the Switch points?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I bought it when I bought because I wanted to get Snipper Clippers.
Mm-hmm. Good game, by the way. Thank you for that recommendation.
You're welcome. I told you that game's great.
My wife actually plays it with Jack more than I do.
Well, we try to play the 4-player version once in a while. You know what I mean? So.
Oh, and my son wanted me to tell you, and he'd be upset if it wasn't in the podcast. He's picked up Mortal Kombat 9 again. Sorry, Mortal Kombat 2011. And we actually played yesterday for the first time in a while. And he actually beat me once with a fatality.
Well,
So
I'm impressed.
He's figured out his character he likes the best is Reptile.
I don't even know where my copy of that game is. I'd have to dig.
So he won't let me play as Cabal because that's the character I'm best at in that game. So he goes, pick someone else. I said, okay, I'll pick someone else. So I picked Sector. And he beat me the first round. And at the end, I said, okay, do you want a rematch? You want to switch characters? He goes, well, you could switch characters if you're afraid you're going to lose again. And I looked at him and I said, son, I am so sorry for what I'm about to do to you.
Yeah.
He's like, what do you mean? I said, oh, it's on now.
So, don't take this personally, but you're going down.
Yes. Needless to say, he did not win a match, not even close, and I fatality'd his ass afterwards.
Good time. That's parenting done right. You hear that, Internet? Parenting done right.
It's like, I'll go easy on you, but if you taunt me, bitch, you're mine.
Yeah.
I don't care if you are blood.
See, like when I play Megan in Mario Kart, she doesn't taunt. She's good.
Mm-hmm.
She'll lose, but I can never tell if she's losing on purpose or if she's not. But so, like the four of us will play it, and like I'll be winning all the time because I only like the four of us will play because Kelly and Kate.
Yeah, they're not the gamers.
They try. Kelly really does try really hard, but Kate just don't get it, and she doesn't want to get it. But me and Megan are like,
Yeah.
We're into it, So.
And it's great because he actually, what character did? Oh, Noob Saibot he was playing as, and he wanted to do the fatality, and so I have the book out and everything, and he's going through the moves, and I show him the fatality. Well, he tried to do it, and he missed it. Well, he almost starts crying. I said, "What's wrong?" He's like, "I'm never gonna get the fatality," and I'm like, "Dude, fatalities are hard for a reason. They're not."
Yeah.
Instantly hit one button and do the fatality, and then in the back of my head I'm like, Mortal Kombat Trilogy has that. And I'm like, shut up, other brain. We were not talking about Mortal Kombat Trilogy.
The best Mortal Kombat game ever.
And then I had to teach him the concept. He's like, well, how do you do them? I said, you got to do them quick, but you got to practice. He's like, what do you mean? So I grabbed the controller and I'm like, okay, when I pause the game to learn the fatality, okay, it's up, down, left, B. So I'll go, and I'll without touching the controller, up, down, left, B, up, down, left, B, up, down, left, B. And then you do the motions, and then when you hit pause, you quickly do it just like you did. And son of a bitch, after that, he was hitting fatality after fatality after fatality.
There's a fatality trainer in that game.
Is there?
Yeah. Go into the training. Well, you may not want to show him that, but...
I'll show him that. I want a good challenge. He's actually getting better at it, which is... It makes it more entertaining for me because the first couple times we played months ago when he first picked it up, I let him win.
Yeah.
And yesterday, I kind of let him have the first game. Then he taunted me, and I just kind of kicked his ass after that. But toward the end there, I actually was kind of trying, and he was getting in some cheap moves that you'd be happy about.
Well, we'll have to see if the online works on it.
So, but yeah, it was really good. So,
good.
But he wanted me to let you know that he's playing Mortal Kombat. His favorite character is Reptile, and he's getting fatalities down.
Is that why I see your PS3 logged in lately?
Yes, actually, I just logged into it yesterday for the first time. Oh, excuse me, in years. So, because I had the network cable unplugged, I have it plugged into the PS2, and don't ask me why. I just wanted to, and I just wanted to. I wanted to see if you could actually get online and do anything like with Twisted Metal or anything, but you can't.
Oh, the servers are gone.
Yeah, I just was trying to see what happened.
There's a way to get Twisted Metal Black to work, but...
So I just hooked up through wireless, but I was doing that because he was getting sick of me picking characters at, well, when you play the story mode, you get thrown character after character, so you learn to work with all the characters. So I never bought any of the downloadable characters. So I'm like, okay, the game is 7 years old. It's got to be cheap enough that, okay, I could pick up the characters for $5. They still want $15 frickin' for all the downloadable characters.
Fuck you.
I could go to GameStop and buy the complete edition for $15.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus Christ, lower the price.
Yeah. You should just go buy the complete edition. It's less frustration.
I would, but I don't want to spend $15 on a game I already own.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean...
Yeah, you're right. Sad as it is. All right, let's shut this down.
Yeah, actually, it's almost exactly an hour and a half, which is our butter zone.
Yeah.
So, anything else?
No, I don't think so. I'm just making sure we hit all the stories and didn't skip shit.
So.
And we didn't.
No, I think we're pretty good. Okay, gang. Well, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Once again, subscribe, like us on iTunes. Sorry, what was that?
Sponsor us.
Sponsor us. We'll always take sponsors.
Yeah.
Also, check out our website, 40somethingpodcast.com. It's where you can listen live, not live, but listen on the site. You don't have to download anything. Link to the video on YouTube. We're on iTunes. Subscribe, star us, comment. Don't care what you say. Call us faggots. I don't care. I talk to him more than my wife. That's true.
Actually, this is probably the first time I've talked to your wife in a long time.
I know. She says you're really quiet in bed lately, so.
Yeah, well, not much going on there, just like it is here.
So. And don't forget my favorite thing, you can listen to us on any Alexa-enabled device.
Oh, God.
I love that!
I know you do.
That's how I listen to podcasts anymore. I hook my Dot up to my soundbar in my bedroom, and I just set a sleep timer, and I play a podcast every night.
Yep.
I love it.
That's how I listen to the old Growing Up Geek stuff. I listen to it on my phone, setting a timer. Good night.
So in 2 weeks, we will be on the cusp of Father's Day weekend, actually.
Yeah.
So
that'll be nice.
There. Kids will be out of school.
That'll be bad.
Yeah, that'll be pretty bad.
I like Father's Day because I don't have to wake up early on Sunday.
Really? You get that?
Yeah, because I let Kelly do that for Mother's Day. I let her sleep. Kelly asked me this year for Mother's Day if she could sleep until she woke up.
Wow.
And I let her.
Good for you, man. Good for you.
So for I probably won't. I'll probably get up before everybody else, like I always do.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm hoping to sleep till like 7.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pamper myself and not go to work this year.
Oh, there you go.
Well, I've worked every Father's Day, so.
Yeah, stay home, see the
because
kids.
Technically I'm my own boss this year, and I'm not working at Best Buy or Verizon or any other place like that. I can take it off, and I'm going to. So, okay, guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, Jerry. Thank you for showing up again.
Hey, I'm here for you, buddy.
And we're taking bets. Let's see if Jerry shows up in 2 weeks. We know he will.
Oh yeah.
So.
That put money down.
Yes.
But don't put it on Black Ops 4.
No! Say no to Black Ops 4.
Say no to Black Ops 4.
Great way to
We
end
need
it.
shirts with that on it.
Friends don't let friends buy Black Ops 4.
Yes!
Okay, gang. Have a good 2 weeks. We'll see you then.